Hey guys, it's Dr. Brian Broussard here with Alliance Regen and Rehab, and I'm going to go over the runner's pyramid that I mentioned up above, and we're going to talk about it. I'll kind of explain to you a little bit more in detail what exactly it is. Okay, first of all, maybe looking over my shoulder here, you might be like, "Hey, what is that in the background?" Well, I want to just show you that's the St. Pete Pier. So, beautiful sight. It's awesome coming to that in every day. But point is the runner's pyramid, okay? So let's go over it and let's talk about it and how it relates to you and what it is exactly, okay? So the runner's pyramid basically outlines two things, okay? People are different stages in which people come to see us for help, okay? So people come to see us at these different stages that they're in, whether they're injured, they're in the roller coaster stage, they're in the tentative stage, or they're in the basically injury-free stage, okay? And then also number two, this kind of also is basically like a stage progression of how someone who is injured, the steps they need to take or the basic general outline of steps they have to take to get to that pain-free, injury-free, high-performing runner that they're trying to get towards, okay? So let's go over it a little bit more in detail and kind of explain to you what all this stuff means, okay? So the bottom layer, the base layer, is the injured runner, okay? This is where you don't want to be, but it happens, okay? This is sometimes where we all find ourselves in at some point in time, okay? So, but you can be an injured runner in different stages, okay? Like even the roller coaster stage, you may still be having some pain, but the injured runner part, all right, so you're really at a point where, hey, no matter what you do or no matter which, like every run is basically painful, so much so that you basically stop running. You can't even go out for a run because it just aggravates. Maybe it's your high hamstring, maybe it's your knee, maybe it's the inside of your foot. It just hurts, okay? So you just can't run. You can't go, all right? So what does that lead to? Like, what do we see commonly in people who kind of are come to us in this stage? Well, they're not running because they can't, okay? But they're also having some other effects because of their injury, right? So they're not running their races. They can't get to their races because they can't train for it. They can't run with their friends, their running groups, all right? And then just the pure like the pure joy of running isn't there, right? Because like, you know, even though we first started running sucks when we first started running, right? But once we get good at it, once we do it for a while, we're like, man, running is really, really awesome, right? Like it makes you feel so good. And there's great benefits to it. Those benefits aren't there whenever we can't run, okay? So there's a lot of a little bit, not a full depression, but like some psychological like weight that we just kind of carry around whenever we're injured. We can't figure it out. We want to get back to running, right? So that's kind of the symptom. That's kind of what it feels like. You can't figure out what's going on. Like it just sucks. Okay. Now let's go up towards let's go to the keys to success. Okay. So in this stage, how do you get out of this stage? Like, how do you get over or get to the next level and start making some progress to get to injury free? Well, I put down education, treatment, modification, and control. Okay. Now let's go over education. Okay. So we have to figure out first what's going on, right? That's why we do a full evaluation with a medical running analysis. We look at a lot of things as an evaluation and then also video running analysis. But we take a deep dive and to figure out what's really going on. What are you good at? But what is the limitations and what elsewhere, not just your pain in your knee, the knee could just be a symptom and not the cause. Try to find the cause. Then we educate you about what we find, what's going on, and why you can't run. Then we create a plan, all right? Then we go into a treatment, all right? We start treating the issue. And part of the treatment in this stage is to kind of like calm down the inflammation, calm down the pain, get that pain level that's like usually like a 7 or 6, 7, 8 out of 10 pain. We try to get that down, right? To 4, and then to 3, and then to 2, and to 1, and to 0, all right? To where you can actually move and you can use your body and feel good while you're moving it. Next, we go into modification, okay? At this point, I work with runners based on their individual scenario, okay? Most of the time, we like to keep people running, okay? We want you to keep being active. If you can't run because of your injury, we want to keep you doing something that's similar to it, right? And to also preserve your cardiovascular endurance. we're trying to move you towards maybe biking, maybe swimming if you can, maybe the elliptical is another secondary option for you to keep you moving, to keep your gains that you've already gained, to keep that up, okay? And preserve it, all right? So that'll kind of get you over to the next stage, okay? Baseline stuff that we have to do to kind of progress and kind of rehab that injured area up to where it needs to be, all right? The second stage is the roller coaster runner, okay? You probably are in this stage, and it's very common that people are in this stage, and they just maybe don't even know it. They go out, maybe they've had a injury back in the day, right? But they go out after it kind of starts to feel better. Maybe they've rested some, but they kind of feel like they're kind of over the hump. So they go back out right where they kind of left off at, and they kind of get set back, all right? So maybe they kind of wait again, they rest, they try a couple things, it kind of gets a little bit better, and like, okay, I think I can start going again. Well, they push it again, and they get set back again. So it's just like it's like just a roller coaster, right? You go up and down, up and down. So this is tough, right? This is like probably worse than just being injured because you think you might be over something, but it kind of just kicks you back in the butt, right? So this is just inconsistency and setbacks, and you just can't get over that injury, or maybe over that, like whatever that thing that is holding you back. I feel like you just can't get past it. You can't get over it, right? That's a roller coaster runner. Okay, it's tough. What typically happens is most clinics, most PTs, most doctors, most chiros, they're addressing your symptoms, right? And maybe you're even addressing your symptoms on your own if you're trying to treat it yourself, but you're not really looking at the problems that's really causing it. I mentioned this in the first stage. You're not really hitting the problems that are really causing you to have pain and to kind of set yourself back, right? So like you're having knee pain or ankle pain, okay? Maybe you're having ankle pain, and maybe you go to a massage therapist. Great, massage therapists are awesome, but you get a little soft tissue work right on the calf, the Achilles, the foot. When we walk out of there, you feel like $1 million, right? Like $1 million. But and that pain you went in with is much more subsided. But you go back out, you run again, and then you get hurt again, and you're left wondering what is going on. Like, why can't I thought I was better. Well, perhaps it's not even coming from the ankle. Perhaps it's coming from your hips. Perhaps it's coming from your running form. Perhaps it's coming from weakness and somewhere in that lower quarter there. So we've got to figure that out, and we have to address those problems, those really causative factors to get you really to go up this pyramid. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the biggest point in that. All right. Next stage is tentative runner, right? You're back to running, boom, you're feeling good, but you kind of get hampered every time you hit that high intensity, right? So you're kind of going up and you're feeling good, you're running outside, but as soon as you try to crank it up a little bit to get maybe like some speed work on the track, you start to kind of feel that pain come back a little bit, all right? And might I add that all these stages, it's not definite for anything. Everybody's different. People are going to go through these at different speeds, depending on their history, their body type, their gender, their age, etc. Okay, this is just a kind of an outline, but it's a tentative runner. You're so close to getting where you want to be, but maybe you're just missing a couple of things. So you need a proven plan and an entire body approach. Okay, so we're not just looking at the knee, the ankle, the hip. We're looking at your core. We're looking at your running form, how your drills are. We're looking at your running program. Like, are you ramping up too fast? That's where we might pull in like someone to help you with the running plan. All right, like a run coach, etc. So this is consistency over time. It's going to help you get through this tentative stage and really getting a fine functional program that's going to help you with strength, mobility, stability, etc. Okay. Now, and also adding other things like yoga and all those things like that, right? Together. All right. Now you're feeling great. You got all the things in place, and you're up and injury free, and you're crushing it. You're hitting PRs. You're running with your groups consistently. You're running as many times as you want. Your miles per week are getting up there. You're doing awesome, and you're feeling great. Okay. This is where you want to be. Okay. But you have to stay here. You cannot fall back into your old habits. Otherwise, you're going to fall back down the pyramid, okay? See this so much. We forget what got us there. It's kind of like a Super Bowl champion or someone who just won a championship, and they're talking about the next year and how we're going to go back to back. We're going to do all this stuff. And then they're boasting that they just won, but they forgot the process it takes. That they forgot all the things all the small things they did to get them to that championship. Okay, we don't want that. I want you to stay consistent. I want you to have a good group of people around you and help you to stay consistent and accountable. Have a good, well-rounded program. Okay, so this is where we kind of like do ramp up the programming. We ramp up the exercise that we're giving you. We're doing it consistently. We're adding more weight, we're adding more reps, we're adding more intensity. Then we're also maybe even we're pulling in other things that you can maybe have or need help with, like nutrition. We're bringing in yoga. We're bringing in massage therapists. We're bringing in run coaches. All these things, if you're into all those things, they're available, right? And that's going to create a huge advantage for you. It's not for everybody to have all those things, but we work with you to kind of, all right, this is what we got to do to kind of keep you on this level and keep you progressing and staying injury-free and just running, all right? So hope that gave you a good idea of what the running pyramid is and why we use it, and kind of like just give you a good understanding. You probably know where you are right now, okay? If you know where you are right now, let us know. Shoot us an email and let us know also where you want to go. Like, are you okay with staying tentative, or do you want to go to injury-free? Like, what are your goals, okay? So let us know that stuff. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Hey, go have a great week running and a great week. And I'll talk to you guys soon.